Mr. President, I need to speak to you right now. Well, I heard you got upset with me for indicting 2 Republicans right before the midterms. Well, what was I supposed to do? Well, no, but it's the rule of law. Don't you understand also, it's like a fumblerooski in football. See, we get them all thinking that we don't know where the ball is, and there's a scrum, and then you get the ball, then you lateral it to the running back, and you score an 80-yard touchdown. I'm trying to help you. Next, I'm going to help you by having Mueller subpoena you. Yeah, what? There's no need to use profanity. I bet you're wearing a profanity alert shirt. No, I'm trying to help you. Well, I don't know. Of course we're going to indict Clinton. China hacked her server. What do you think we're going to do? Let her get away with it? Well, no. First we have to indict more Republicans before the midterms, and then we're going to have you testify before a grand jury, possibly. Probably won't make the Supreme Court. Then we're going to have, I don't know what else Mueller plans, but we're going to allow him to do that. And it's just called, well, it's called 570, 60,000 D chess. Yes. I thought that's what this was all about. 75D chess. Oh, you want me to treat the Democrats the same way? Or you want me to actually just follow the evidence? Or you're going to, what'd you say? Fire my behind? Okay, well, I'm going to get right to it. I don't want to get fired after the midterms. Okay, no problem. No problem. Well, we're on the same page. I love you. Nobody will love you like I do. Well, I never knew love like this before. Okay. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to make it anyway. Okay, talk to you later. Don't worry. Won't indict anybody. I'm going to indict Clinton soon. Okay, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Sessions indicts 2 Republicans. It's part of the 85,000 D chess. And it's like, then Trump is called an unindicted co-conspirator, and they're like, we can't confirm Kavanaugh. We can't, no. We can't confirm Kavanaugh. No. I'm on RT saying that it's going to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, just before we continue with this, before I give you the definition of what an unindicted co-conspirator, Michael Cohen testified to robbing a bank with Trump. So Trump is trying to conspire. He's a conspirator regarding the bank robbery because Michael Cohen said so. That's not the way it works. Michael Cohen is not he pled guilty because his taxi empire didn't adapt. All you needed to do if you own taxis medallions, which are now worth like a Dorito wrapper in New York, is just simply have an app and have consumers or customers speak with the drivers just like they do with Uber and Lyft. That's it. And you would have kept your market share. But no, Michael Cohen didn't do that. But what was I even looking at? So yeah, let me just go ahead. I'm here. I'm telling you, the Republicans are going to keep control of the House and Senate. Of course, everyone who watches me has to go ahead. I'm talking about carpool. I'm talking about get the word out. If you're a Second Amendment guy like me, they're going after your Second Amendment right. They're going after your firearms. Don't say that. Don't believe them when they say they're not. I can tell you right now, I have very good friends. I'm telling you right now, to the 572 people, I'm telling you right now, that I have friends who were like, we would love to erase the Second Amendment and confiscate all firearms. make it illegal even to own a handgun. I know people like that, and this is not hyperbole. Okay, now, is that what the Democratic Party wants? No, not now. Not now, but I'm telling you, I know people, and that actually, one of my buddies who's a very, very good human being, like a lot of my friends, they're not overt Second Amendment people, but they, you know, they have firearms. And then some of my friends are, you know, just like Bernie people, but really at the end of the day, Democrats. And you need new friends. And one person, and one or two people in particular, they're like, if we could go ahead, we'll raise the Second Amendment. I am telling you. And then this is not like, because I already know Democrats are not going to win the House. It's not trying to like, but the whole thing is, well, this firearm was used, and then this it's never going to be enough. I don't want to go into it, abide by YouTube policies, but here, this is me. House and the Senate, they'll lose this. Educated people would never, ever stoop so low as to blame anyone for an election loss. So I'm trying to say this is when President Obama said, "Oh, Trump should go ahead." This is RT, my RT segment, and I'll share the tweet, the link to the tweet. But here's where I say on RT that this is May 31st, 2018. So Trump should just stop whining. Then they're trying, like, I was remembering when I was explaining when President Obama on CNN said Trump should stop whining, he should just accept the election loss. Now, of course, it's like the whine heard around the galaxy with Hillary and Russia. But we have nonstop whining, continual and never-ending whining from Clinton and the Democratic Party. They're going to lose in the midterms. They had like what a 13 or 14 point lead in the generic polls for both the House and the Senate. They'll lose the Senate, or the GOP will keep control of the Senate and keep control of the House, and they're going to limp into 2020. Trump, unless there's something, God forbid, that's just unforeseen, Trump will easily defeat Democrats in 2020 because So I explain, and here's the link to the 700 people, almost 700 people watching. Follow me on Twitter. The Gab link is there. 700 people in 8 minutes, not bad. And I agree, Brian. I agree with you. In Massachusetts, the Democrats want, what they say is, and it's not just the Second Amendment, it's the First Amendment too. I joined the NRA. I joined the Gun Owners of America. And it was very cool. I had the NRA retweet one of my Daily Caller articles because I used to write about gun control on the left when I was on the left in the Huffington Post. And I explained my evolution from writing about gun control to owning firearms and advocating and being a Second Amendment person. And the Gun Owners of America were very cool. They thanked me on Twitter for joining, and they retweeted a guns.com article about me. So I'm just but you know, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, it's not, look, this session's like indicting 2 Republicans, and then they're calling Trump an unindicted co-conspirator. It makes no sense. We'll get to, look, okay, so let's just get to the first 30 minutes, address the title, because people are like, you don't address the title within the first 30 minutes. So here, Wikipedia, unindicted co-conspirator. An unindicted co-conspirator, unindicted conspirator is a person or entity that is alleged in an indictment to have engaged in a conspiracy, but who is not charged in the same indictment. Okay. The reason he's not charged is because Michael Cohen pled guilty to violations that aren't even violations or crimes. Bradley Smith, the former FEC chairman, in the Wall Street Journal, and it's also quoted by the National Review, has stated that payments to anyone, Stormy, the National Enquirer, are not campaign finance violations. Their biggest, most publicized, quote-unquote scandal, fabricated scandal yet, is the whole, oh my God, he paid. This is a guy who won states that haven't voted Republican since the 80s. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania voted for Bill Clinton twice and President Obama twice. And they voted for Trump even after the Access Hollywood tape. Access Hollywood tape, he said, I grab women, you know where. Okay, nobody would have cared. No one would have even flinched. You have to prove that he paid these people specifically because, or he paid off the Inquirer specifically because it would have influenced the election. That is a bunch of nonsense. That is a bunch of nonsense. By the way, to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. But it is a bunch of nonsense. First of all, nobody would have altered their vote because of finding out that he had relationships with Stormy or McDougal. So that's number one. But Bradley Smith makes it very clear. Okay, so Bradley Smith in the National Review, very, very clear. Regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea bargain, hush money payments to mistresses, paramours, are not really campaign expenditures. It's right here. Regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea deal, hush money payments to mistresses are not really campaign expenditures. That's it. That's it. It's in the Washington Posts. Those payments to women were unseemly. That doesn't mean they were illegal. Regardless of what Cohen could have agreed to anything in a plea deal. Okay? It really doesn't matter. It's all mindless political. It's all them trying to go ahead and use politics to hurt Trump. Now, what's taking place, the opposite is going to take place. The opposite is going to take place. As always, Democrats can't, even with every single possible advantage, they're not going to be able to win the House because people realize that the media's only goal is to hurt Trump. Under the theory that then-candidate Donald Trump, personal attorney Michael Cohen violated campaign finance laws by arranging hush money payments to women accusing Trump of affairs, the answer would seem to be yes. Also, why are these, this is a very bizarre thing, why are these women so eager to tell the world that they had an affair with Trump? They too knew he was married, and they accepted money to either tell their story or to not tell their story. How are these women lionized, or how are these women lauded or praised by the press for just for hurting Trump? We should think twice before accepting that answer. The answer, okay, so the answer to the theory that he broke laws. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York has extracted a guilty plea from Michael Cohen for knowingly and willingly violating campaign finance laws. It's not, they don't even have any proof that any campaign finance laws were violated because A, you have to prove that the election would have been altered. It would not. Then B, you have to prove that that Trump did so specifically for the campaign and not to protect Melania or his family. Honestly, he knew he would have won anyway. And it's probably like, look, I don't want anyone to know that I had these affairs, which is very likely because apparently he's paid other women too. So, and that was long before the election. Cohen was facing multiple tax and fraud charges that could have landed in jail for the rest of his life. So there you go. The whole point is that there are people, especially around Clinton, and if they notice how nobody like is Uma made to flip and saying, "What about Weiner?" You know what Comey said about Anthony Weiner? Well, he had too much on his plate. We didn't want to bother him. He already had a pending, O.J. Clinton, the best in America. And, oh no, QB. Who sent Halpern, Mifsud, Downer, and Tawil at Papadee and Page? Who sent Sessions at Team Trump? Is an equally good question. Well, the thing with Sessions is that he recused himself like a dummy. He recused himself. They got him to recuse himself, so now he's like really, really afraid. Because he's at, he thinks that they have something over him. So and Sessions is a political animal. So his whole thing is, well, it's a very difficult ship to steer. And, there's nothing that we can do right now. I'll get to Sessions in a second. However, regardless of what Cohen agreed to in a plea bargain, hush money to payments to a mistress is not really are not really campaign expenditures. This is Bradley Smith, the FEC chairman, former FEC chairman. So they even lost at that. They can't get Trump. They can't get him. They don't know. They're miserable. This is the definition of misery. Democrats are just the most miserable creatures. They're trying so desperately hard to hurt Trump, and they don't know what they can do. They're pulling their hair out. They're just, oh my God, what can we do to hurt Trump? Anything, please. The problem is that almost anything a candidate does can be interpreted as influencing an election. That's why another part of the statute defines personal use as any expenditure used to fulfill a commitment, obligation, or expense of a person that would exist irrespective of the candidate's election campaign. Sorry, Hillary. This does not involve, nobody's going to buy a Steele dossier. Now we're getting to the good stuff. No one's going to buy a Steele dossier without a political campaign existing. So again, campaign finance violation is Hillary Clinton. I wrote an article in the Daily Caller. And by the way, I am very, very, very honored that Mrs. Christine Assange, Julian Assange's mother, a remarkable woman, a beautiful human being, retweeted both my Daily Caller articles. President Trump just hours back, she retweeted my Daily Caller article regarding titled "President Trump Should Pardon Julian Assange," that was written right after Trump won, and "Free Julian Assange," written several months back in the Daily Caller. She retweeted both articles, and I'm very, very proud and honored. Thank you, Mrs. Christine Assange. And Mrs. Christine Assange is doing so much to protect her son and defend her son, and it's really breathtaking and beautiful. Like, the love that she has for her son, Julian Assange. And it's very noble and heroic what she's doing. So I feel honored that she retweeted my articles, and Julian Assange should obviously be free. But an unindicted co-conspirator, Wikipedia says here, is a person or entity that is alleged in an indictment to have engaged in a conspiracy. The indictment has nothing to do with reality. They made it up, like they made up everything. It's not reality. He pled guilty to campaign finance violations that aren't violations. It's not a violation to go ahead and pay someone. And here's the thing also. The women took the money. McDougal took money from the National Enquirer, okay? And you don't go to the National Enquirer to let your story, you go to the New York Times. You go to the Washington Post, all right? You're not going to make that much money, but you go and you have your story heard by the whole planet. Not, you know, space aliens come down to Earth, National Enquirer. It's a tabloid nobody even pays attention to. Sometimes it breaks stories. Well, who cares? There's more stories that it publishes that are nonsense. Nobody really cares about the Enquirer. Most people don't care about the Washington Post either, but at least it still remains reputable to an extent, at least to people who, you know what I mean. The analysis is fake news, but it's still a respected newspaper. Prosecutors choose to name persons as unindicted co-conspirators for a variety of reasons, including grants of immunity, pragmatic considerations, and evidentiary concerns. Yeah, evidentiary concerns. In this case, they don't even know. They have no evidence of Trump committing any crime at all. They're a bunch of imbeciles who are sad and pathetic, who just want any way possible. Thank you, Ash. ZZ, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for your kind words. Like I always say, when I was on the left, every day was like, you should regret even breathing air. H.A. Goodman, you're the most horrible person on the planet. Now, you know, Trump voter, everyone's nice. Everyone's cool. Everyone's wonderful. But here they're like, so you have the FEC chairman saying, no, he's not an unindicted co-conspirator. Then like Sessions goes after 2 Republicans. And it's like Democrats demand delay in Kavanaugh confirmation. Okay, so this is also interesting. Democrats demand delay in Kavanaugh confirmation. GOP downplays Trump world criminal woes. Trump world. Oh, like Michael Cohen's part of his world, and Stormy, and the Democrats created a world called Trump world. What they do is they create non-crimes, non-scandals. They fabricate things. What'd you know about Trump Jr. meeting? Are you saying it doesn't matter whether Trump even set up the meeting? There's no direct link between Natalia Veselnitskaya and Putin. The Russian lawyer and Putin, there's no direct link. No direct link. No direct link. You know who a direct link to Putin is? Putin. Putin is actually a direct link to Putin. You want to know who met up with Putin? Bill Clinton. While the uranium deal was going down. That's in Newsweek. That's in Newsweek. Okay? But no, you can't say. William D. Campbell, FBI informant, actually stated that he when he was undercover, that the Russian lobbyists were talking about pumping money into Clinton Foundation and bragging about their influence over Obama and Clinton. No. He's not to be trusted. He is just an FBI informant. He has no proof. Oh, but let's talk about the Steele dossier that BuzzFeed is suing the DNC over. Let's talk about the Steele dossier where Michael Cohen, even Lanny Davis, Michael Cohen is like, oh, yeah, Michael Cohen's never been to Prague. The 13 references in the Steele dossier, never been to Prague. Michael Cohen has stated categorically he's never been to Prague. He was suing BuzzFeed before he had to contend with Mueller. And it's like they have nothing. They cannot get Trump because there's really like nothing to get him on. Trump's been in the public eye. He's had enemies before, and there's really nothing to get him on. He's not a corrupt individual. He's a businessman. He's not the nicest. He might not be the nicest guy in the world. He might not be the most civil person in the world, but you know what? He's not a career criminal. He's not a career criminal. Clinton is a career criminal. 824 people watching. Thank you so very much. And tell your friends about these live streams. Hit subscribe. But this is really interesting. Sessions is an interesting character. So let's go. Dick Morris is great. Everyone subscribe to Dick Morris. He is awesome. if you're in Clinton world, you're like, oh my God, GAWD, Dick Morris. Oh my God, Dick Morris. But Dick Morris has an interesting take on Jeff Sessions. So this is really, really interesting. Everyone go ahead and subscribe to Dick Morris. This is interesting.
If you recall the circumstances of the confirmation hearing, there had just been a big brouhaha about how Mike Flynn had been in touch with the Russian ambassador, even though Flynn himself was the incoming national security advisor. And it was about 3 weeks before taking office, but technically that was a violation of law for him to be in touch before he was actually.
I don't think so at all, but let's continue.
Sworn in 3 weeks later. And of course, the substance of the discussion was important, which is to avoid a ratcheting up of a sanctions war between the U.S. and Russia. Well, when Sessions came up for his confirmation hearing, the Congressional Committee led by now discredited Al Franken said, have you been in touch with the Russians at all? Actually, they didn't say that. They said, has anybody from the Trump campaign, to your knowledge, been in touch with the Russians?
And by the way, that was a McCarthy era hearing. Those were McCarthy era. That was a reincarnation of their. It was, oh my God, this cloud of suspicion. And that's 862 people. Do you want Trump to well, they'll try to go ahead and they'll definitely impeach Trump. They'll definitely go ahead and try to impeach Trump based on nonsense. So the 857 people, you don't want Democrats to control the House. They won't control the House, but you don't want Democrats to control the House because they're only going to go ahead and try in every single way. Mueller will be there forever. James Clapper, James Comey, Peter Strzok, all of them will have their reputations. Well, their reputations are already destroyed, but there won't be justice, at least in the short term. Eventually, Hillary will get indicted and charged. It doesn't matter whether there's Sessions, no Sessions, Republican House, or Democratic Party controlled House. But it's going to take longer than expected. Then you have a repeal of tax cuts. They're going to try to hurt the economy in every way, shape, and form. And we can go on forever. America will reward the Democratic Party for its insanity. The media will say, we got this victory. But aside from all that, I mean, you obviously don't want Democrats controlling the House. I mean, who would want that? Their only goal is to impeach Trump. So they might get the articles of impeachment and then, the Senate will strike it down and then Trump will win it and then they'll still lose. But that would be their only goal. It wouldn't be to pass immigration reform. It wouldn't be climate change. It wouldn't be anything that they claim to care so deeply about. But I mean, you don't want Clapper to have an even bigger voice, or Brennan, who, by the way, opened his big mouth today again. These people have already been discredited. If Democrats win the House, all of these people have an even greater voice than they already have, which is already they're already given too much airtime as it is.
And he said, not to my knowledge, no. And then it turned out that he had spoken to the Russians several times over the last year. He was on the Foreign Affairs Committee. It was perfectly reasonable to do that, not evidence of collusion. And it turns out that his answer was not false because he was a U.S. Senator. He didn't see himself as part of the Trump campaign. His answer was not disingenuous. But nevertheless, he agreed to recuse himself from all further consideration of the Russia scandal. And that led to it devolving on Rod Rosenstein, his deputy, to deal with that. and led to the appointment to Mueller as a special counsel, and the rest is history. But while that was happening, McCabe said, I'm going to really go after Sessions and investigate whether everything he said in that testimony was true. So here we have the deputy head of the FBI.
So the FBI, while McCabe was still there, said, okay, let's go ahead and try to really, you want to use the term, I don't like the term weaponize, but you want to use the term politicize the FBI even further. Now, of course, he's under, McCabe has criminal referrals that Sessions refuses to act on. So Sessions is just waiting. We have no idea why. He's probably waiting for the midterms. And after the midterms, he either does his job and goes where the evidence takes him regarding the Clinton email investigation, the Clinton Foundation, and Andrew McCabe and all of them, or he gets fired. Or he gets fired. They're not going to control the House. There's zero enthusiasm. The media and the Democratic Party are relying on hatred of Trump. You're not going to get 23 seats just because you hate Trump. It doesn't work that way.
On his own, initiating an investigation of the incoming Attorney General, who, if he takes office, would become his boss. This is a throwback to what used to happen with J. Edgar Hoover. He would routinely amass compromising information about the Attorney General, who was his boss, and then use that to cow him into silence. Attorney General Kennedy about the affair that he was having with Marilyn Monroe. So you can basically blackmail them into doing what you want. And here we have a blatant example of it happening at the FBI. All of this goes further and further to explain why you need a special prosecutor who can really get to the bottom of this whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this channel, even with, because I do these amazing live streams and I love them, that the live stream doesn't grow as much, but that's okay to the 900 people watching. Please go ahead and share this segment and also tell people about this amazing live stream, because it's kind of like a detox therapy session for people who've had enough of CNN and the Washington Post saying, we've got him now, we've got him now. It doesn't ever happen. But when there's a special counsel, the day, forget about Clinton indictments, that'll eventually take place. The day there's a special counsel created to look into Clinton emails and Foundation and all that stuff, Spygate, which leads all back to Clinton. If they just have Spygate, then it leads all back to Clinton. I mean, we're going to have a several thousand, I would say 2,500 person live stream, and the channel will go to 150,000 subs in like a heartbeat, even with the live streams. But I mean, John Huber, the whole thing with Huber is that you have like, the whole thing with Huber is you have this weak attempt by Sessions. Well, you know, I guess you can have Huber. Go ahead and have Huber. What? You're welcome. There needs to be a special counsel. There needs to be a special counsel with the same energy and the same vigor and the same passion to go after Clinton. They're going after Trump, and they're actually fabricating things. With Clinton, you don't even have to fabricate anything. And now they're saying, oh, okay, he's an unindicted co-conspirator. No, he's not. He's part of an indictment regarding campaign finance violations. No, they weren't campaign finance violations, and he's not part of any indictments because he admitted guilt on things that aren't even crimes. Then they're like, well, we can't go ahead and confirm Brett Kavanaugh. We can't confirm Brett because several GOP senators noted that crimes committed by two of Trump's former top associates were not related to allegations of Russia collusion. There you go. Then you have the senator from Hawaii. The fact that a sitting president is an unindicted co-conspirator in a criminal situation. No, he's not. No, he's not. I will not take a meeting with Kavanaugh. You don't need to. You don't need to. Just in terms of, and it's the Democrats who made it just a simple majority. It's the Democrats who made it a simple majority under Obama. Now, as everything they do, it comes back to bite them in the behind. So, Democrats, simple majority SCOTUS. On the Supreme Court, Democrats have only themselves to blame. Washington Post. The Democrats' first mistake was to launch unprecedented filibusters against President George W. Bush. But then the Democrats' third mistake was to filibuster Neil Gorsuch. After Republicans won back the Senate, they refused to confirm Obama's choice of Merrick Garland to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia. So, citing precedent, okay, so let's go ahead really quickly. The decision to block such an obviously qualified nominee, praised for his impeccable temperament, character, and intellect by legal scholars on both left and right, free tradition bound Republicans to end the filibuster for Supreme Court nominees and confirm him with a simple majority. There you go. But it was Democrats. Used to be 60 vote. June 28th, why Democrats have basically no chance of stopping Supreme Court pick. So this is hilarious. They have zero chance. Even the Washington Post says so. They have zero chance of blocking Kavanaugh. And they're like, well, I'm not going to go ahead and do this. He's an unindicted co-conspirator. He shouldn't even be president. He should self-impeach right now. Just go ahead and self-impeach. No problem. It's all, but let bygones be bygones. We'll go ahead and watch The Apprentice again. Mohawk Girl, ever wonder? Thank you, Mohawk Girl. Ever wonder why we're going to hear the rest of the when we're going to hear the rest of the Cohen tapes, the one with the MSM journalists? Remember, Giuliani said there were like 11 with journalists. Wow. And like a total of 180 total. Yes. Wow. That's a very, very good point. Mohawk Girl. Very, very good point. Very, very good point. It's an excellent point because it's like, well, I thought that was supposed to be the end for Trump. Oh, no, it was the Manafort indictment. Oh, no, it was the Cohen issue. Oh, no, it was Stormy. Oh, no, it was the National Enquirer. Oh, now it's the Trump Foundation. Oh, we haven't heard about that anymore. They keep on crying wolf, and they keep on losing. And when they lose the midterms, oh, my God, the meltdown. The meltdown of biblical proportions. Mohawk Girl, thank you so very much. That's a great, great point. That's a great point. Where are the Cohen tapes? It's a great point. So this is why Democrats have basically no chance of stopping Trump's Supreme Court pick. Democrats are grasping at straws to try to stop Republicans from replacing retired Justice Anthony M. Kennedy on the Supreme Court with a more reliable conservative vote. That's because beyond misconstruing what Republicans said in 2016 about holding up Supreme Court nominees in an election year, Democrats don't have any procedural recourse to stop Senate Republicans from approving President Trump's pick. Democrats can't hold up the Supreme Court nominees by requiring they get a 60-vote consensus. After a rule change last year that both parties had a hand in precipitating, a simple majority will do. Well, both parties, from what I read, it was Democrats who wanted that, but fine. At least until November elections, Republicans have a 1 or 2 majority in the Senate, depending on John McCain's health and his ability to turn. So even if that vote goes Democrat, which I wouldn't doubt, but likely not, they still can't. There are three Senate majority lead. But here's the most important thing to note. Constitutionally, the Senate can consider a president Supreme Court nominee whenever it wants. That means senators can wait until after a presidential election. So can you argue the Republicans are making overtly political decisions when they consider a president's Supreme Court pick? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean they are breaking the rules in doing it. As Democrats have suggested, of course they're not breaking the rules. The Democrats have zero power in terms of procedure or anything else. So they're trying to go ahead and stop Kavanaugh. The confirmation process is supposed to be alongside in October. Democrats are hoping that if they take control of the Senate, they can be a moderating influence on any other vacancies during the rest of Trump's tenure. They're not going to take control of the Senate. Ginsburg is 85 and Breyer turns 80. But as a Second Amendment advocate, I don't want anyone on the Supreme Court who would abide by Hollywood's, oh, let's have firearms in every single film. Let's have firearms protect our stars, but let's not have firearms protect the average citizen. No, 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 no. Because if we make it difficult for the average citizen, then really bad people and criminals, well, it'll be difficult for them also. Democrats' best hope now is that things are so dire for them that their base will make Supreme Court picks more of a priority. No. In a good economy ain't going to happen. Obama era rule change haunts Democrats. Wah, wah, wah. Mitch McConnell, I say to my friends, this is when Obama was president. Then minority leader, and you may regret it a lot sooner than you think. You know, they probably look, they're like, look, Clinton's going to win. And so we just want a simple majority. We're going to ram everything through. And it's our day to shine. Didn't work out. Did not work out. After the urging of Majority Leader Harry Reid, the brilliant one, Democrats had just voted along strict party lines to change the rules of the Senate, deploying what had become known as in Washington as a nuclear option. Under the new rules, presidential nominees for all executive branch positions, including the cabinet and judicial vacancies below the Supreme Court, could advance with a simple majority of 51 votes. The rules for legislation were untouched, but the 60-vote threshold for overcoming a filibuster so it was this 60-vote threshold for overcoming. I love it. And this was Harry Reid, the brilliant, the brainiac. The one who was like, I'm going to go ahead. This is so great. So there's nothing that they can do. They can't filibuster Kavanaugh. They're done. And anyone who doesn't vote along party line will not get reelected. And then you have Democrats who will flip to just try to appease, like McCaskill will be like, I'm not as bad as Holly says in Missouri. So, and this was Harry Reid. At the urging of Harry Reid. I mean, that's hilarious. At the urging of Harry Reid, Democrats had voted along strict. So they basically, you know what, themselves, as they always do. I apologize. I missed. Shalala. There'll be a bloodbath in 2018. They showed no RESPCT for the Queen of Soul. Candace Owens will be campaigning for DeSantis in Florida. Hashtag walk away. March on works for DC. Hashtag Brexit on the way. Shalala Collins. Everyone subscribe to Shalala Collins. She's beautiful inside and outside. 4,245 subs. She is awesome. Let's get her to 5,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get her to 5,000. Okay? RESPCT. Aretha Franklin. And then, like, you get... Did you... Ariana Grande was apparently... I saw it. It wasn't that bad. She, like, the pastor hugged her. And then it was like, oh, my God. You hugged a little bit of... You got a little... You know what? The pastor... Why did you do this? I don't know. Maybe I saw the picture. Was it that bad? I don't know. I don't know what was going. Shalala Collins. They tried to do to Aretha Franklin's funeral what they did to. They even mess up funerals. Even a funeral they mess up. They're like, I mean, it's already bad. You're already like mourning the loss of a life, but like. McCain is still getting buried right now. They want that's like slow motion. With McCain, they're like, look, we were so united. Look at Bush. He gave Michelle Obama some candy. Oh, that warmed my heart. Oh. Shalala Collins. And Shalala has a wonderful, wonderful segment on Aretha Franklin and disrespecting the funeral. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's like they make, and like Ariana Grande, did she even care? And then Bill Clinton was like, Bill Clinton was like, yeah, that's right. I love that. And then Jesse Jackson was like, chill out. Would you chill out? Would you calm down? The world's watching you, you perv. Just relax. He's like, oh, okay. Sorry. The vocals are amazing. Yes, the vocals are amazing from this vantage point. Oh my God. Shalala Collins. Audrey Clark, thank you for watching. Shalala Collins. Everyone subscribe to Shalala. She is a beautiful inside and out. Hold on. Ariana Grande. So let's just... Ariana Grande reminds us women have no safe place in America. What? What is going on? Is it that bad, the pastor, what he did? I don't even know. I actually didn't... I saw one clip. Hold on. Ariana Grande Bishop. Hold on one second. I'm going to put the volume off. Okay. Because, of course, there's copyright, everything. Okay. Let me see this thing. Okay. Let me see. So Bishop apologizing for touching Ariana Grande. Okay. I can't even find. Okay, so hold on. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just want to see what happened. You know, this is just like Harvey Weinstein. So now I'm watching this clip, or I'm trying to watch this clip. It's like impossible to find. Bishop apologizes for too friendly hug. Okay. Meanwhile, Clinton was there. Okay, the hug. I see the hug. Okay, and all right. I guess Ariana Grande seems like she's pulling away, but she's laughing. Hold on. And then he hugged her again. All right, let's just see. Meanwhile, Bill Clinton looks like total perv. Whatever. I love how Bill Clinton's there like, yeah. Oh my God. This is so great. I got the best seat in the house. Oh, Bill Clinton. And then they get the bishop.
I've got to apologize because I have to brush up. My 28-year-old daughter tells me, Dad, you are old at 60.
Ariana Grande says, what did you do?
When I saw Ariana Grande on the program, I thought that was a new something at Taco Bell. Girl, let me give you all your respect. It would never be mine.
What was the problem? Ariana Grande at Taco Bell. Can I have an Ariana Grande with a large Coke? So that's what he was. That's it. So she apologized. And then he was like, she was like, what did you do? She said, what did you do? I don't know. She was apologizing for, oh my God. As he was apologizing to Ariana Grande, then he apparently hugged her in an inappropriate way, which didn't seem that inappropriate, but it was kind of like, I guess he didn't know because he was tall and I don't know deal. I don't know. There's like a double. Everyone's apologizing at like every single chance. Like, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, the people who should apologize are just there. Bill Clinton, not a problem. So, Sherlock Collins, still digging bimbos. Colin Powell. Colin Powell, 2016. That's right. That's right. Sherlock Collins. Everyone subscribe to Sherlock. So it's like, I don't even know. Again, this is insane. Like they don't, even at Aretha Franklin's funeral, they make it what's touched inappropriately. Whatever. Bishop, oh my God. Oh my. The hug, it was the hug heard around the world. It was the hug seen around the world. Oh my God. Meanwhile, Bill Clinton is still like worshipped as a Democrat. Can you believe this? Everything is condemnation. Everything is condemnation. Like, I get it. Like, you can look at it and say, but even then at that point, Ariana Grande was like, oh, what are you apologizing for? And then he had to apologize for trying to apologize. If I'm reading this, if I'm looking at that right, he was apologizing for not knowing a lot about Ariana Grande. Yoni A. Oh, she's very beautiful. That's for sure. Yoni A. Yoni A. Yoni A. Thank you, YouTube policies. But Yoni A. So I don't know. Oh my God, everything. So he was apologizing, and then as he was apologizing, he was then forced to apologize. Leave it to Democrats. Leave it to Democrats. Bishop Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande reminds us women have no safe place in America. What? And touched her body part. I just saw YouTube policies. No, he didn't. That's not really what happened. The bishop. That's not really what happened. Okay, so no, so I don't know. I guess I put my arm. Maybe I crossed the border. Maybe I was too friendly or familiar. But again, I crossed the border. Well, if there was a border wall, that wouldn't have happened. Just joking. CNN is like following Grande's performance, wrapped his arm around Grande, pulled her close, and then touched her breast. No, that did not happen, actually. That's not exactly what took place. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not exactly what took place. That's not exactly what took place. This guy, this gentleman, the bishop, is getting a raw deal. But you know what? They exist. He crossed the border. He crossed the border. Well, if you built Trump's wall, he wouldn't have crossed the border. Seeing Ariana Grande groped on TV was tragically familiar for... No, it didn't even mean that. Whatever. It's just every single time. The guy's taller. This is what happened. The guy was taller. She's a lot shorter than he was. He wanted to hug her. And she's an entertainer. And this was like, you know, he was trying to hug her. And she was actually saying like, oh, what are you apologizing for? He was apologizing for not knowing exactly who she was. And then now he has to apologize for his apology for him not knowing who she was. But my God almighty. Getting hugged is not exactly. Well, like, how do you hug? Then how do you hug? Like, so you always are like, hello, nice to see you. I don't know. Meanwhile, Bill Clinton has a Wikipedia page like classics looked accidental. Yeah, but I've actually never like I've never been involved in that situation. But see, like they politicize, like everything is. Let's just say the bishop was wrong, but the instant maniacal attempt to make it a bigger thing. Nothing is ever just happened at that moment, and obviously the bishop did not. He was actually apologizing to Ariana Grande, and she was like, "For what?" And then now he has to apologize and forget about it. It's just, look, do you want this? The Democrats are in free fall, spiraling out of control into never land of condemnation. They exist to condemn. They exist to condemn, and that's about it. They exist to condemn. That's all they need to do. And then an actor said, oh, here we go. Of course, Trevor Noah tweeted about it. Oh, my God. this would never at any time, never at any time in American history would this be seen as, it's one thing to hurt someone. Yes. I mean, I'm in agreement with Ben Shapiro on that. Like, I'm all for capital punishment for anyone who hurts a woman. No problem at all. But this, at any point in U.S. history, would not have been seen as a, would not have been seen as this evil, you know, whatever. This society we live in is like completely messed up now. Meanwhile, Anthony Weiner's in prison for, you know, texting photos of his wiener along with classified intelligence. Hello and happy Labor Day, AJ. And all, you make me laugh on my worst days. Recently diagnosed with burn spurs on my spine. Will have surgery on my spine. Thank you. Vet for 45. God bless you. We are all pulling for you, and we're all thinking of you. We'll have surgery on the number 10 on my spine, 10th vertebrae, I believe. Thank you so much, Vet for 45, for watching and for supporting this channel, and God bless you. And we are all pulling for you. We all love you, and we're all pulling for you. And thank you so very much. I'm just going to go ahead and try to find out what kind of world we live in now. They're going after the bishop, who is a black man. They couldn't find racism, so they're like, oh, sexism. Any condemnation, it's like the rubric of condemnation, like climate. Nobody was recycling at the funeral again. This is, you know, check your climate change privilege. Frank, YouTube is censoring my opinions. Yeah, that worked. Frank, thank you. The only thing I'll say about McCain is that, yes, no, obviously his legacy was not a great legacy. The thing with McCain is that YouTube, yes, YouTube does block certain profanity, Frank. Thank you so very much, Frank. Yes. It's just everything. That, is it me, or did Mr. President say that our society lets rich men grab them by the... Well, it's true, Mohawk girl, you know, but the thing is, it was a hot mic. I don't know how I've never seen that taken place, so that's very bizarre. I agree. That's a crazy thing to say. Mohawk girl, I've never even seen that. Maybe I just don't hang up around deviants. I have friends of all different ethnicities, guys of all different backgrounds, you know, played football and baseball in high school, and, you know, scored 4 touchdowns in one game like Al Bundy. No, I'm joking. But like, I've never heard that before. I've never seen it before. What Trump, the hot mic. So yeah, I mean, no doubt. Look, this is the thing. No doubt, there are situations where men get away with a lot of crazy, horrible things. No doubt. No doubt. I think if you look at the Monica Lewinsky thing, you have a president of the United States taking advantage of an intern, and then you have his wife trying to go ahead and hurt the intern any way possible. I mean, Harvey Weinstein is an example also. I mean, people in Hollywood taking advantage of women. Mohawk girl, you're 100% right. I don't mean to say that I don't mean to, when I look at the bishop, what took place, I just don't see anything nefarious. Of course, if he could have gone a little bit lower, but then if he had gone lower, it's like, aha, he thinks that Ariana Grande is his girlfriend. Look, he's holding her waist. Like, how is he supposed to embrace her? Would it be like, you know, this force field? Like, I am not touching you in any inappropriate manner. There is a force field of friendship thrusting you towards me. Oh, I said thrust. Oh, no, I can't wait here. So, De Niro, dude, De Niro, you talking to me? I can't. I used to do Bobby. I used to do De Niro. I can't do it. So Mohawk girl, you are right. I do see your point, but my whole thing is I just don't think this. He could have grabbed her hand. That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Okay. It's just that everything is turned into a soapbox. There definitely are times when women are taken advantage of and, hurt. I understand that. No, the point is that society is very weird. Absolutely. Society is very weird. That's why I am a big proponent of women concealed carry. Learn how to use a firearm. I have a daughter. She's very little. She's only 1 year old, and she's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely fantastic and gorgeous. And I have a 4-year-old son, and he is amazing in every way. And my kids are going to learn at the appropriate age how to utilize firearms. And for my daughter, I hope that laws change to where women could go ahead and conceal carry. And then it's game over for anyone who wanted to hurt a woman, because you get, the 9 mil, you get whatever. You get the 45 ACP. Okay, you can get the 44 mag, whatever you ask for. You try to hurt somebody, then you get, what you've been asking for. Horace, hoping everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. Horace, you are an awesome, awesome supporter. 2 shots center mass. No, I don't think Grande should have. Well, I think that it was just supposed to it was innocent thing that, like, I guess he didn't hug her in the correct way, but it wasn't really Mohawk girl, thank you. Horace, you are an amazing moderator and supporter of this channel. Thank you so very much, Horace. Always. Freedom 132209101. I'm not lying, dude. I just found that I have been unsubscribed to you. Might want to ask people to check the subscription. Yes, I think that somehow, by accident and by coinky-dink, just by a coincidence, almost like the uranium donations, the 2 Republicans will finally get to. Freedom 132209101. Thank you so very, very much. So, get a Sessions, indict Republicans. So, Trump last Sessions over GOP. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton, got hacked by China, transferred illegally top secret intelligence and special access program intelligence from JWICS onto her unencrypted server in her basement. Big crime. Oh, by the way, they covered it up fair and square, apparently, to Sessions, so it's not a problem. Representative Duncan Hunter and Representative Chris Collins of New York, Duncan Hunter of California, were indicted within 2 weeks of each other last month on unrelated charges. Collins was charged with 13 counts of security fraud. Hunter was indicted using campaign funds for personal use. There you go. So, but of course, that's national security. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton gets away with everything. Whatever. Whatever. That's the thing. Look at the vid in slow motion. The whole... I'm not saying that if he could go back, he wouldn't hug her differently. See, here's the issue. Yeah, it is not a good thing to go ahead and... I'm not saying that that's how you should just hug women. No, But at the same time, was it nefarious? Was it on purpose? Was it some kind of, and also like to say that the body part was that he was actually, you know, overtly engaging in an activity that he wasn't, it just wasn't, you know, what if he put her, it was a side hug. Okay. It was a side hug. What if he put his hands on the side of her, on her side? Would that have been appropriate? Would any hug at all have been appropriate? That's all I'm saying. It's just, everything is, vet for 45. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but McCain stayed on to vote against giving us better health care as he had access to. Belated happy birthday to my son, Brandon W., the best bus driver in the USA. Brandon W., happy birthday. The best, youngest, Brandon W., youngest bus driver in USA. Youngest bus driver. Thank you so very much. Happy birthday, Brandon W. And yeah, McCain, from the issue of soldiers missing in action to veterans benefits to a lot of things. It's just, McCain he always voted for every type of regime change there could be. And his legacy is negative overall. Vet for 45, we were praying for you. Thank you so very much. HA becoming a hillbilly. No, I think I'm becoming more logical. I think, yeah, he should know better next time, sure. But I agree with you. It's blown out of proportion. You know, it's just, we live in a time where everything's out there. People are outraged over everything. And you take it out of context, it's like, I don't know, whatever. This is not Harvey Weinstein. That's all I'm saying. They're trying to link it all to Harvey Weinstein. Florida man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. I will take a little break. I'll be back. I'll be back a little later on this evening. And what can I say? You know, you definitely don't want Democrats. Freedom 132201, like Razorfish said, can we take a minute? Silence from oh my God. Freedom 13229101, thank you. I'll do my Jeff Sessions later. Gotta go now. Oh, daily prayer. Okay. Lord, please give Jeff Sessions a brain and a heart. He's like the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion all wrapped up into one. Lord, please allow Democrats to continue their spiral into madness. Don't stop them. Let them continue to be absolutely loony. Let them reach new heights of looniness so they win less than 10 seats and then blame everyone on the planet. Lord, let the Democratic meltdown be even more enjoyable than the 2016 election meltdown. Thank you, Lord. What can I tell you? Ladies and gentlemen, you are all absolutely wonderful. Thank you so very much. I will be back a little later. And it's been really, really fun. Thank you. To my super chat, thank you so very, very much. Hit subscribe right now. Tell your friends about these live streams. They're like detox/therapy. slash a safe space for all the insanity from the Washington Post and others. Thank you again.